Yat Ben. Good morning. Cheryl Singer, Dashijana. Kia Anin Shaw Touchy me, Bashishin, Sadish Gijne, Dashishay, Dona Kaidane, Dashana. I am Cheryl Singer. My first clan is Towering House, and my second clan is the Gap People clan, and then my third clan is the Red Running into Water clan. My fourth clan is the Mexican clan. So that's how I identify myself. And in my paper, that's what I put, is that the kinship that we belong to is also related to a lot of our nature writing. So it's all tied into animals, nature, the environment, just our surroundings, I guess you could say. So you could go outside and look, and everything that's around us is part of who we are as a Diné person. So first of all, I'd like for you to shake somebody's hand and say Yat eh to them this morning. So in our culture, that's the greeting that you would do if you came to the Navajo reservation. You shake somebody's hand, and that's a physical contact that you have with that person. Yat eh. If you were to take that concept and break it apart, Yah means our Father, our Heavenly Father. Yatishkish, as we call him. At eh is the mom, the mother. And then t'eh part is how person feels physically. Hashnt eh, somebody would say that to you. How do you feel? Yancht eh, they would go back and say, I am feeling well. And so to feel well and to feel the whole health concept of everything being healthy and well with you, including nature, including yourself in nature, is how we take a look at it. So I'm taking you on a tour through my version of the Navajo version of how we look at things and aspects of nature. All right. Okay. I'd like to thank the following people for helping me with my nature writing. My seminar leader, Jill Campbell, the seminar coordinator and fellow, Brandon Barr, and also my student that I brought with me, Nishani Laughter. Can I have you stand up real quickly? I will introduce her a little bit further when we have the student panel. So these are the things that I'd like to discuss this morning: the seminar, the content objectives and teaching strategies, the district academic standards, and the student responses. And these are all the elements that I'd like to just share with you. So in the seminar readings that we did over the summer, in May, what was introduced to us before we went to the seminar in the summer, what do writers seek in nature? And we looked at several books. And the one that caught my eye was the one that's called Put on Your Owl Eyes, Open Your Senses and Discover Nature's Secrets. And with that, we did what we call the sit spot, where you find a place. And I did that with my students. We went out to near the football field, or not football field, baseball field. And I had the kids sitting there and observing everything around them. And before the time was up, they had to be reminded that they needed to look around them and take a picture of something. It could be the clouds, it could be the rocks near them, it could be the mesa that they see, it could be a bug crawling by, it could be a plant, it could be a tree. Whatever it was that they saw, they took a picture of that and took it back to the classroom. And then from there, we did our journal writing, and we kind of took a look at that particular object. And one kid made a comment, I took a picture of an ant, a red ant. And I said, you will find lots of information about red ants. And he didn't believe me, but he had one of the most fascinating topic that he never even thought about, that an awareness to him, and that he was really accepting about all the new discoveries that he had learned about just a red ant. And then during the intensive sessions in July, we continued on with writers from various ethnic backgrounds and perspectives of indigenous people and lifestyles, and even other ethnic groups as well. So memoirs and journals and experiences that we shared also within our own sessions with the group that I was with. And things that we normally probably wouldn't share, and sometimes it was very healing for us because we would get very emotional and we would share things of our personal experiences as they come out. So the sharing of all of these and the aspects of looking at animals, insects, trees, and plants, and just all of those are part of nature as well, incorporated for a very wonderful experience for my students. And you'll be able to hear some of their reflections shortly here. So, content objectives and teaching strategies. The first one that I taught was Navajo duality awareness. I took a Spanish class one time, and I remember the Spanish teacher telling us that the terms el and la would signify like a male or a female aspects of things, and I was taking that concept and thinking, in Navajo we have a similar concept like that, but it's something that's hard to explain, and I couldn't explain it. I know what it is, but I just couldn't explain it until I did a lot of research to it, and through the awareness of myself as well, finding out the way to describe it, it's something that is already instilled within us, but it's just something that we don't normally have out in the open that we could share it. And it's part of a Navajo philosophy. So in this curriculum, students were able to investigate and explain the female and male concepts of the duality from their readings, from their sharing of family members, because I had them go out, from the authors that they read from, scholars, and just many different people that they could encounter through their readings or through actual contact with them. And here's one that one of the young ladies put down of dualities of the Navajo language when she took a look at corn pollen boy, corn or beetle girl, and then the white corn boy and the yellow corn girl, the materialistic boy and the materialistic girl. And I have a closer picture of this later on that you can take a look at if you want to read it more thoroughly, that I will have in the display with the display. But you can see her interpretations that she received from her mother and her father of what was shared with her. And the whole concept of everything was that language and culture are one element. And she said, I remember you always telling us that if we don't use our language, we could lose our culture, and that revitalizing what we need to do now in this time period, where you said that in your age, most of the people you had that were about your age could speak Navajo, and it was just coming out of them. They could say things, they could have conversations, but then look at our generation. It's hard for us to respond back to an elder or even to say anything to an elder because we don't have that instilled in us anymore. And so she was very happy. Okay. So the other one is the other dualities from a young man that he talked about the stars and about the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. And the Big Dipper is the male and the Little Dipper is the female. So Cassiopeia, she's the female. Journal nature writing was also another one that we did, and that was where I used that put on your owl eyes kind of interpretation. But if you'll look at the one with the horned toad, that was done by an ESS student. He took 4 days to design that the way he wanted it to look. And then he went home and he had his family share with him some stories about the horned toad. And if you see one of them, you pick it up and you put corn pollen on it. It'll give you blessings. And so the kids were very infatuated with the fact that the second time we went out with one of the groups that I had, they put corn pollen on him. Actually, there was a kid with a corn pollen with him, and it was nice to see them doing that. And so these are some of the things that they encountered while they were experiencing that. Then the poetry and cultural aspects of this, I introduced Lucy Tabahanza to my class and some of her readings. And so we did some reading, and I said, okay, on this one she's talking about things in reference to cardinal directions. And in the Navajo teachings, this is how we teach the Navajo cultural aspects of things that are related in four. So you start at the very top, which is our east. And then you go to the next cardinal direction, south, west, and north. And in Navajo, the Navajo teacher would teach in that aspect of Ntsakes Nahat Inases, and Ntsakes meaning thinking, Nahat meaning planning, Ina means implementing something and bringing it to life. And then the last one, reflection, Sihasin, so you reflect back on things. And so with this poetry that they read, they put all the elements of her poetry items back in sync with the teachings idea so that they could have a pattern that they could follow and they could understand it. And then in our standards, where it also emphasizes that the respect of the environment is mostly what it says about the Navajo curriculum parts of our standards. And I just want to bring that to forth. Thank you.